Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Prosky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you.
And why wouldn't they when it's true? It'll be bad, I tell you.
I don't know. Seems to me it's always the same. Bad.
Well, it'll be even worse. Look, there's a rabble running rampant over the countryside. Well, I ain't so sure about that when I hear what you're
What's
saying.
wedding like?
It was nice. Good food.
That wagon has to be out of here before his lordship returns.
Wedding like?
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Prosky.
Everything's
Let's
gone
hope
down
the
in
bride
the tree.
doesn't hear you.
Well, I'm all ears, Master Philosopher.
It's clear as a bell. Everything was fine as long as we had a king.
We still got a king, though.
When's the system work?
Go away. No one wants any tramps around here. Who knows? But someone might care why I listen to such talk, and on duty too.
You play the saint, but I know very well what you fellas say in the guardhouse about...
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Prosky.
Attacks ain't gonna carry themselves.
Wedding like?
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Prosky.
Is a piece of
Let's
cake,
hope the bride
but for
doesn't
sure,
hear you.
Chamberlain Ulrich hasn't got it easy. He's got all sorts of worries. Sir Otto travels a lot, so he's got to do a lot of stuff on his behalf.
Whatever worries he has, fella treats folks like birds. It ain't no wonder they get up to it.
That's that.
Ah, so it's true what the laundresses say then? That you go and report on them to the Chamberlain?
I wouldn't put it that way.
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, if you really don't have anything for me, I'll just idle around then.
That'd suit you, eh? None of that. Only, what to do with you? I've only got work in the forge, and that's a craft. An art, you could say.
Well, I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what. Go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that he don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
4.
Smart lad. We've got 1 horse. That's 4 times 1. But Kabat's already got 3. So that's 4 minus 3, which is...
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads!
God be with you. You shouldn't be bothering us here. You shouldn't be bothering us here.
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance.
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer. Till we meet again.
That damn wretch! That miserable blacksmith! Where is he now?
Lay down his life for our sins. I beg you and the guardian angel to take care of your good servant, Captain Thomas. Thomas is a very faithful and good Christian.
Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
Welcome him in to your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your bosom. He is a
That
good Christian
damn
and
wretch!
Amen.
Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. That miserable blacksmith, where is he now?
And that's it.
Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith? That damn wretch!
The first bell. Another 11 to go.
Merciful God, your only begotten Son took upon himself our wrong.
You're right. But I promised myself I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year. So, have you got any...
Well,
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait.
What was Lord Zenny's wedding like?
nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests.
I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here. So either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally.
It was nice. Good food and drink.
What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, similar concerns. Come find me when you have atoned for your worldly sins. If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there, though. And not a step
Like
further
always,
than the kitchen.
voices around here all day, and when you need them, he vanishes like a flash. Like always, voices around here all day, and when you need them,
Where are you going? You're not allowed in there. I'm sorry. Don't eat the scrub you're after. You'll have to wait.
where's that fool of a blacksmith?
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! Ah! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
One vagabond isn't the same as another, sir. It can be hard to tell the difference between beggars and us students from Prague, but we have a bit of knowledge.
And what are you doing here? Prague is a long way off.
I'm here to gain experience. Our professors encouraged us to travel the world, but I ran out of coin and things went from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm. And where did you study?
Prague University, of course. So far, I've completed the Septem Artes Liberalis, and I'm getting ready for the Quadrivium.
Oh. Well, my nephew had some difficulties with arithmetic in the Quadrivium.
Oh, I understand. It's a difficult subject, and I'm a bit anxious about it myself. Nevertheless, although I don't have a degree in medicine, I have learned a few things.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Tell me, sir, what about your, let's say nighttime activities?
Well, I'm not married, if you're asking about that.
But that's no obstacle, is it? Although the Holy Scriptures call on us to be chaste, even a saint can sometimes sin.
Not I. I never managed to find the right woman who would, how shall I put it, who would be a good counterpart for me and yet not provoke outrage.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Actually, neither am I.
I believe your stomach juices are out of balance, sir.
That's what the professor from Colin said. But what to do about it?
Unfortunately, I can't change the causes of your condition, but I can help you with its symptoms. I think some herbal potion for the stomach would bring you relief.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Ow! And when that's all done... Let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship.
The second toll for Hans.
You're not permitted to be here. Surrender, now!
All right! You caught me. I surrender.
You can't say you weren't warned. You can't just loiter around on other people's property. You'll pay up and show me whether...
Look, can you keep a secret?
What are you talking about? What secret?
Look, we're both men, aren't we?
Where are you going with this? You're testing my patience.
It's like this. Yesterday, I met this pretty girl. She makes yarn. And you know what they say about girls who work with spinning wheels?
No? What?
They're really good in bed.
That's a good one.
Well, this yarn spinner, she was very afraid her mother would find out we planned on meeting. So she gives me these complicated directions on where to meet her. At high noon, I stood at the shadow of the tallest linden tree, and step by step, I set out. Then all of a sudden, I look around and realise I have no idea where I am. The girl's nowhere to be seen, and people are yelling at me. That girl made a right fool of me.
Ah, that's what you get for thinking with your prick.
Aye. I've had enough embarrassment for one lifetime. Can't we just let this one slide?
All right, then. I'll turn a blind eye, just this once.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out?
He is a good Christian and a fine man. Amen.
Where'd you think you're...
Well, that's a tough one. I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Easy! I surrender!
You can't say you weren't... You'll...
And don't forget to light the fire in the main hall. It's as cold there as a dungeon, and that doesn't do me any good.
You're not permitted to be here. Give up.
Just have to take care of something here first. What do you expect me to find there anyway?
Christ almighty.
I said surrender.
I surrender!
You can't.
Oh, the pain.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
You're not allowed in here, vagabond. If you want to fight, go to the kitchen in the cross.
Prepared. And that is not too sweet like the last.
What?
Like
Stuff your
always,
face
roams
quickly
around
and
here
get
all
back
day,
to
but
work.
when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
If it's scrub you're after, you'll have to wait. I've been here for ages.
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
If you don't want it, I won't force you.
Bloody hell, I'm starving.
If anything goes missing...
The second toll for Hans.
Stuff your face quickly and get back to work.
Still hungry, are you?
I wouldn't be... Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
What do you think you're doing?
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here, genius.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
They let me out. I have to work off my sentence.
Really? Here? And what kind of important work would that be?
The Chamberlain sent me. He needs something for his stomach.
That slimy toad? If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
Because we're birds of a feather.
How do you mean?
Well, let's just say we both go where we shouldn't be going and take things that don't belong to us.
Oh, really? You must be mixing me up with someone. I just clean up here. And you don't look like someone who knows much.
Really? Didn't you lose a comb by any chance?
What? How did you...
How? I know a thing or two. So, do you believe me?
That was pretty good, I have to admit. And now give it back to me.
As you wish. And now I'm sure you'll be very happy to help me.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
The third toll. I better get moving.
Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
Merciful God, grant that our Captain Thomas may recover. I beg you, let his wounds be healed, and if you take him from this world, welcome him in to your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your boat, for he is a good Christian and a fine man.
And don't gobble everything. Christ almighty. If anything goes...
Lord be with you. What do you need?
Lord Benny's wedding like?
It was nice. Good food. It was nice. Good food.
And make sure there's a goose in sauce prepared. and that it's not too sweet like the last time. Ow.
You're not permitted to be here. Halt!
I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Starting up again.
Easy! I surrender! You can't say you weren't warned. You'll pay up and show...
All right,
Now show me what you've...
All right.
Well, this is obviously stopped. All right, that along with indulgence should... But I don't want to see anything like that again.
And smile. I don't
Back
want to
off.
see any sour faces when his lordship returns. You'll be happy to see him home.
We're done here, right?
Oof!
And make sure those liverwursts are well roasted, so they're crisp on the outside and juicy on the inside. Nothing half-cooked.
You're not allowed in here, vagabond.
And don't gobble everything up, fella.
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I'm all...
I can try and find something for you.
Haven't you got anything?
Not really.
Go and look then. There's some baths. I'd go myself.
I'll figure it out. I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey.
I've got something...
You said that? Thanks. Well, at least I won't...
You're welcome.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
Who are you, actually?
Me.
And what were you...
I thought I have...
We both...
Says so.
They let me out.
Really?
The Chamberlain sent...
That slimy toad? If he doesn't watch...
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
Because we're...
How do you...
Well,
Oh.
really?
What?
How?
That was pretty...
As you wish.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does.
All right.
And...
The second toll for Hans.
Who's over there just stealing?
Christ almighty! Pain!
You're not allowed in here, vagabond.
I'm sorry.
I'm as
I suppose.
damn roaring.
I can.
Haven't
Not really.
go on.
I'll figure. I can see it.
Hey,
I've got some.
you said. Thank.
You're welcome.
And don't gobble everything up, fella.
I'm sorry.
Lord Zemming's wedding like?
The second
maybe
half. I have that rosary for you. It's very nice.
Great. Let's have a look.
Here you have it.
Good fella. Here's a bit of equipment for you in exchange. I don't suppose I'll be needing it again.
And don't forget to light the fire in the main hall. It's as cold there as a dungeon.
You're not permitted to be here. Surrender at once.
I surrender.
You can't say you'll...
Look.
What are you...
Look, we're both...
Where are you going?
It's like that. No. They're with... Well, this... hide and all of it. That girl... Oh,
All right.
What was Lord Zemming's wedding like?
And don't gobble everything up, fella.
You!
Who are...
Me?
And what...
I thought I have...
What's your...
What's it?
I'm... And...
Says...
They let...
Re...
The check...
That...
Well... Because we're...
How do you...
Well...
Oh,
Really?
what?
How? As you would.
There's all...
And...
Then tough that...
All right. The third toll. I better get moving. The fourth bell.
talk. Good day. What do you need?
Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I've got something for you that could bring you relief.
About time. This? It looks suspicious. Are you sure it'll help?
Definitely. It will balance your humours, sir. Drink it for a month at least, in small doses, morning and evening.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you. The bell's ringing for Hans the 5th time.
Get back to work.
What was Lord Zenny's wedding like?
It was nice. Good food.
Where did you actually live?
When I was in
They call the bouquet. That's interesting. Well, Christ. God bless.
Good day.
God be with you, neighbour.
Greetings to you two.
How's your...
Wedding like?
Fine.
It was nice. Good food and drink.
Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
What are you skulking around for?
The sixth bell. Half the time is up. Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days, and the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes! It's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? I don't know what to say. And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him more.
God moves in mysterious ways. We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
out! These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. The worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble. That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, You tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it? Well, it was somewhat unexpected. I must say it was the first time I had a noose around my neck, and it wasn't the most pleasant experience.
Please, accept my apologies, sir. And that of my chamberlain, too. Is that not so, Ulrich? I must say in his defense that he had my orders not to admit anyone to the castle, and to be cautious.
I understand, sir. At home, some bandits got into Tamberg by subterfuge, and it cost us a lot of effort to reconquer it.
I'm glad you understand. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather a fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor, a stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount, and therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
I think you owe him a proper apology.
I think I've apologized more than enough. Even though I had little reason not to regard him as a poacher. But still, I will try to rectify my error. Nevertheless, welcome to Trotsky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
You silly doggy.
All too well, thanks.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you. Or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings.
Look what I have for you. Come here, boy.
Good day to you. Greetings to you, friend.
Greetings to you.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
I'll have a talk with Nickvard and find out what the problem is.
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already offered to address this pressing situation, listen to what I've learned. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
For a nobleman, Nickvard is quite wary of his own kind, speaking only to servants.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nickvard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
I won't keep you any longer.
Good day to you. Huh? Ah, so you're doing that. All
Let's talk about...
Well...
Satisfied?
That sounds... Aye. Thank you, sir. And come again.
Why the long face?
Oh, I've just got this nasty premonition.
What premonition?
I've got a barrel of ale at home. I'm afraid it'll go bad on me soon. Someone should really do something about that.
Aye, I'm in a right bind. But what are friends for if not to help each other?
Great! It's a deal. Go ahead and tell Franz and Vashek too.
Farewell, my friend. Farewell.
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. Good to see you, my friend.
I took a look at herring.
And?
A nice animal, but I'll keep my own.
Never mind looking a gift horse in the mouth, you flat out refuse to accept one. You're lost though, pal. Actually, now we've got to know each other, I want to let you in on this little scheme. We could both get something out of it. But you'd have to keep it to yourself. What do you say? Can you keep your mouth shut when coin's at stake?
I can keep my mouth shut. You can count on it. What's this about coin then?
Look, it's easy as pie. You keep your horse, which you wanted to do anyway, but I'll say you took herring and then I'll sell him to someone. You'll do all right out of it. I'll pay you up front.
Well, I might be interested, but I deserve a bigger cut. I'm not new to all this, so I'm well aware that the first offer to an accomplice is deliberately low, just in case he accepts. So forget about that and make it worth my while, because you'll get a tidy sum for a horse like that.
I didn't expect you to be so savvy. But you're not wrong. I'll give you double my first offer. I reckon that's fair.
Me too.
Right, now we can get back to the reason you're here. You know how to ride and control a horse?
Don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail, and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
See you later, my friend.
this your first time riding a horse, you moron?
Easy, good horse. Crone and maiden standing behind the gate. That was in Gable's riddle. Whoa, whoa.
You must be Nykvard, eh? Poor wretch.
How many more times am I gonna have to poke around in corpses and shit for that damn cradle?
God! Come on then. A ride.
Easy, good horse. Whoa, whoa.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
Christ, what a day.
Is there any work around the castle I can help with?
Well, there's the issue with the demons.
Demons?
Quiet! I don't want to cause a panic, but yes, unfortunately. Once again, devils are wreaking havoc at Trotsky.
You mean horned ones? From hell?
Do you know any other kind? I'm preoccupied with tasks from Lord von Berghoff at the moment, so I don't have time to deal with it. But I suppose you could do it? You and that friend of yours have a lot to make up for.
You want me to get involved with hell itself? At least tell me more about it.
Ah, you know the times we're living in. War, bandits. The devil took advantage of the chaos and sent his hellspawn here. The castle is built upon an ancient, though fortunately extinguished, fiery moor. It's no wonder it's so close to hell. The spawn of hell shows up here from time to time, and I want you to improve your standing with me and help me out.
How many do you think there are?
A lot. Certainly more than there are sinners in the region. Expect at least 10 beasts for every soul.
That's some army. And I've never seen a real demon before. So what needs to be done?
Our cooks, Manietta and Berto, were complaining about the creatures running around their kitchens. Ossiner, the castle blacksmith, was also blabbering something of the sort as well. The good news is it's only 3 people, for now. We have to act quickly to prevent the panic from spreading any further.
What did you do about it in the past?
I reckon this isn't the first time you've had to deal with it.
We usually cleansed the infested places with the help of a priest or an apothecary, except for that one year when Sir Otto himself faced Lucifer in the Maiden Tower.
Lord von Berghoff has my admiration, then. How long did they fight? And what kind of armor was Lucifer wearing? Did Lord von Berghoff sustain any injuries?
In any case, you'll have to ask Manietta and Berta, or the blacksmith perhaps, where the demons are coming from. And then simply make sure to get rid of them for good. You understand? I'm sure both the scribe Erazim and Father Nicodemus will have something to say about it as well. The question is if you're up to it, or if I should call in someone braver.
I'm ready to scour the castle and try to chase those monsters away. Could you arrange for me to be able to go wherever I want in the castle, without anyone chasing me out?
Very well. You can move freely about the castle while completing this task, but don't stay any longer than necessary in otherwise forbidden areas. I'll let the guards and servants know discreetly. If anyone asks, tell them you have my permission.
You said something about a priest and an apothecary. Should I pay them a visit?
We've always used either holy water or magic water from the apothecary to get rid of those hellish creatures. Which one would you prefer?
I reckon the holy water is more likely to work against demons.
If I recall, it was blessed by the bishop himself during the Easter Vigil. I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, just run away. But don't make too much of a ruckus, or you cause a panic.